Okay, welcome Faergus to my setting, Tales of Eodon. This is going to be your session 0 for our campaign in Norstead Point. Here, you are looking at the world map. The world is largely unexplored, and human civilization primarily exists along the coastlines. Because it is unsafe to go too far into the wilderness. You, however, are a Triton, and you, therefore, originate somewhere out here in these islands, which again is very unexplored territory. Our campaign, Norstead Point, is going to take place here in this very out-of-the-way location. It is about 10 days travel from the nearest town, overland, and nobody really approaches it by water because it is notorious for being the site of shipwrecks. It is a dangerous place to go by boat, presumably because of very sharp rocks, or just treacherous reefs. So, let us begin our tale. Oh shit, hang tight. I gotta reload. Something's happening.
Oh my god, look at those. Oh.
Okay. This is the story of how we came to dwell in the deep, far from the shallows. It is a tale that has been signed from mother to daughter for longer than any of us can remember. It is a story of struggle and loss, but also a blessing that saved us when the world turned on us. Long before your great-grandmother's memories, we Tritons lived near the surface, close enough to see the sky and hear the songs of the seabirds. We made our homes where the waters were bright and clear, and our lives were simple and good. We were a quiet people, content with what we had. But the world above is full of those whose fins fold air and whose hearts are veiled by hungry eyes. At first, we only glimpsed our drykin, rare encounters in which we were nothing more than a ripple beneath the waves. But soon we became more than a ripple. We became a rumor. A story told among the sail people of the dry. Stories can be dangerous things. As the tales spread and grew, so too did our cousins' desire. They hunted us, not as kin of the sea, but as trophies to be caught and displayed. No measure of goodwill would appease them, and the waters grew perilous. Countless souls returned to the depths, heralding the onset of the bleak years. It was for the love of our home, our history, and those who came before that we had struggled. But when we could take no more, the great elders resolved to go deepward. And so we left behind the bright waters of our birth and descended into the depths of the old ones, racked by frigid waters and unrelenting currents where no Triton was meant to be. In our despair, we prayed for deliverance. And the great Kraken answered from the silence of the abyss. Its wide limbs cradled our home, forming a haven against the raging waters, liberating our bodies from the crushing cold that racked us. By its will, we began anew within the Old One's very waters, a blessing afforded to our sacred people. Kazun stands as a testament to the Old One's grace. The blessing of the great Kraken shields us still. But remember this, the blessing is not given lightly, nor is it owed. It is a gift, a kindness, and we must honor, revere, and protect it. Without his favor, we would surely have perished long ago. Be safe, little Faergus. The world that surrounds us is cruel, but we alone are cradled. You will always have your mother's love, and the love of our people, and the love of the great Kraken, for now and for always, no matter what. Faergus.
I.
Whoa, hang tight.
Oh!
No.
That was so cool.
Faergus, you have just stolen the trident, not really knowing what it was. You haven't just stolen it, but you have stolen it. And upon stealing it and returning to the ship, you overheard a plot to kill you once the trident had been delivered. You reached out to Maeve and are now making your way to Norstead Point. Your mother's words are ringing in your head, for whatever reason, as you're swimming rapidly along, far outpacing any ship who could think to pursue you. You're headed to the secret spot, making your way. So, when you arrive in Norstead Point... Whoa. Give me one quick second. You know what? This music's fine.
No, I love it.
You're
That's
swimming
great. Yeah.
very energetically.
Oh, yeah. He's speeding away.
Your butterfly strokes all the way.
Oh, yeah. The entire way.
Okay. All right. So, Faergus, you are trucking. You are zooming along. When you finally reach the reefs of Norstead Point, and you are sort of catching your breath, metaphorically speaking, of course.
Yeah.
And sort of, you've just arrived and you're sort of gathering your bearings. I need you to make me a perception check.
Yeah, you got it. Journal. Fairness. There he is. Okay.
You may not be configured yet.
Oh, yeah. I will roll a clicky clacky. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, let's
And
do it.
I will say my roll out loud. Okay, let's see. I have my D&D Beyond sheet up. I'm sorry, you said you want me to roll a perception check?
Perception, please.
Perception. Oh, not very good at perception, so... Ooh, oh shit, that is... Oh, it's dark in here. I'm sorry. A 16 plus 2, 18.
18. 18's pretty good, Faergus. So you're sort of looking about this reef when something catches your eye. And it's sort of very small and off in the distance.
Can I tell how far away it is?
It's pretty far away, but there's something odd about it. And then you very suddenly realize it is moving super fast
In my direction?
in your direction. And once
Oh,
it gets
shit.
closer, you see that this is a shark who appears to have been scarred. You can tell. There are runes which are present on this shark, which appear to be active. And out of nowhere, this thing just makes an absolute beeline for you, attempting to just tear you to shreds out of nowhere. Can you make me an athletics check? Or let me see.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Athletics. Okay, doing another clicky clacky. Oh, I love this. I never get to roll my regular dice. Oh, not as good. It is a 7 plus 4, so 11?
11. Okay, not good. So what you're essentially doing is you dart off and you're swimming at high speeds, your webbed fingers sort of catching the water. And you are like the first thing to come to your mind is like, holy shit, like this thing has just come out of nowhere and it is just absolutely soaring for you. And as you're making your way, moving through this reef, you are going to encounter other sharks who are just like it, but most of which are much, much smaller. And it does not take long before you find yourself dealing with a group of sharks that are chasing you. None of them, though, are quite as big as this one who first came after you here. Whoa, let's not do that. So yeah, you are swimming as rapidly as you can. There are more sharks coming after you. There does appear to be this massive one up front. And one of these sharks, as you are making your way through, is going to come around a corner. I need you to make me a dexterity save. Dexterity save. You may be muted.
So sorry.
No sweat.
I was muted, yes. Dexterity save. As he's making this dexterity save, he says to the one attacking, steady friend, I mean you no harm. And he uses his emissary of the sea ability to do that. It just means I can communicate like small ideas to creatures with a swim speed, but they can't communicate back. They just understand what I'm telling them.
Okay. Okay, so you have emissary of the sea. All right.
Yeah.
In that case, so what'd you get on that dex save?
The dex save, I got a 10 total.
A 10 total. Okay, so what's going to happen is this shark, this big one here, who's faster than the others just by virtue of his size here, is going to come barreling at you. And as it opens its jaws wide to snap at you, you manage to sort of block its head with the trident as you sort of jam the trident, towards its face. Not quite stabbing it per se, but just blocking with the trident. And as you say this with Emissary of the Sea, can you make me an insight check?
Insight, yes.
as this thing lifts you
2.
upwards out of the water and through the air. As the two of you emerge, this thing attempting to swallow you whole.
Not rolling very good. So insight is 8 plus 2. 10. Another 10 total.
10. Okay, it doesn't take a lot to see that something is not right with this shark. This is not natural behavior. This is, in fact, ultra aggressive behavior, and on top of that, there are sharks increasing by the minute. Although...
Now...
Yes?
Go ahead.
No, by all means.
I've just said something to a shark. Normally when I speak to creatures, I don't understand what they say back, but I can see their body language. Does it appear that they understood me, that my words had any impact, or are they just like on a mission, brain dead sort of thing?
Okay, so I'll say that with that 10 insight, which was kind of to look into this very specific thing, what you can gather is that something is not right with these sharks. It is not responding to your attempt to communicate with it, and as you guys plummet through the air and come crashing down into the water again, you find the mouths of more hungry sharks as these things prepare to rend you to shreds. And what you are finding is that you are having difficulty swimming away from these sharks without using both of your hands, but you don't have a way to let go of the trident. Or, I'm sorry, you don't have a way to hold on to the trident other than to use a hand for it.
Ah, okay, that's the problem. Okay, I will... Okay, I want to flavor this a certain way. You let me know if it's okay to flavor it this way. I will cast fog cloud within the vicinity around me to try and shield myself. But my fog cloud looks like a school of shimmering fish. Like a really large school of shimmering fish. And it obscures the area much like a fog does on land.
Okay.
Just to try and get them to not see me so I can swim away.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. You're using a fog cloud, and you're trying to swim away from this group of sharks. Let me think about this. Go ahead and roll me... What role should this be to, like, intelligently apply this fog cloud? Tell you what, let's have these sharks do a save.
Ah.
Ooh, okay. Faergus, you are... When you do this and this cloud of little fish appear, these sharks go into a frenzy, and they are now tearing through this false school of fish as rapidly as they can. And what you are seeing now is like excessively aggressive behavior. You have a moment to get away, however, this seems to have amped up the sharks, and more sharks are rapidly approaching.
He's going to full dash away as fast as he can.
Make me an insight check.
Okay. Insight. That's history. Insight, got it, okay. 15, insight, 16, 17 total. 17,
okay, not bad. So, Faergus, with that, what you are determining is that your window is very rapidly closing, and you need to basically escape these sharks as quickly as possible.
All right. What to do? He has his trident. Well, he knows now the true essence of the trident, he will try and will the currents to help him escape these sharks.
Make me an Arcana check at disadvantage.
God. Definitely not. Oh, disadvantage. Okay,
Disadvantage.
so first one is 15 total. Second one is a nat 20. Oh,
Ooh.
down the trash.
Ooh.
Okay, 15 total.
Okay, a 15 total is not bad.
Okay. Especially at disadvantage.
So, let me think about this. With a 15, so you're attempting to use the trident. Tell me how you attempt to use this thing. Just tell me what, like, the flavor of this is.
The flavor. I have the trident in my hand, and I can feel these sharks closing in. And he remembers his mother's words again about the blessing. And he holds it with his other hand and puts, essentially by using both hands to hold the trident, he's kind of putting his faith in the old ones. And he's willing the trident to move the currents in a way that will get him away from these sharks.
Okay. Faergus, you are not trained in the use of this essentially legendary item that you're working with. When you attempt to do this, what occurs is that you activate the trident and water blasts away in every direction. So what occurs is basically an explosion outward from the trident, which sends all of these sharks flying upwards out of the water. Basically, they're all going this way. And this is going to blast you away as well, Faergus.
Uh-huh.
And the trident is going to slip out of your grasp and fall
No.
to the floor. And what you see is you sort of see it get wrenched away from your hand as you feel as the breath is sort of, the metaphorical breath is knocked out of you as you are sent flying, Faergus. Let me give you like an idea of the magnitude of what's about to happen. So
Yeah,
let me see. Where's your character? So Faergus, you're probably like over here, right?
Okay.
You are going to be propelled way over here.
Whoa.
And you are going to come flying back down, and then basically you're going to skim across the water as you go flying, and you're eventually going to fall back into this water over here.
Do I take damage from that? That seems like...
That is a pretty significant blast there, yeah, so I would say so. Go ahead and take 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
3d6?
3d6.
You got it. Oh shoot, I only have a bad dice goblin. I only have one pair of dice around me. It's okay. 3d6, you got it. The first one is a 1. The second one is a 1. Come on. Ooh, 6. Okay, so 6, 7, 8. I take 8 damage. Ooh, 8 damage. Faergus looks rough.
All right, Faergus. So what has happened is as the trident fell into the coral reef here, a massive what is the word for this? Tsunami? I believe the word is tsunami. just rockets water in every direction, which manages to go up and over these cliffs and sort of spray everything with a good spray of water. But waves are going to rocket against the cliff walls, which protect the majority of the village. But as you go flying through the air, you are sort of knocked senseless initially by the force of this explosion. And you're going to see a good number of other sharks go flying out of the water as well, as they sort of land in various places. Faergus, as you sort of... when you initially hit the water, you're sort of stunned. You're kind of out of control of what's going on as the world tumbles around you and you roll across this water. Your leg is dislocated. You need to get out of this water as quickly as you can.
I do. Do I see land nearby? A cave nearby?
So, swimming up to the surface, here is what you see. And you're way over here. Or I guess you're over here. Here's what you see. There is... Actually, the first thing that catches your eye is this very unusual landmark. Whoa! Hang tight. Oh, I know what happened. It's because I cloned that map. Damn it. It's just playing that crazy music.
That's funny.
So what you see is beside these cliffs, which house this little shanty town, there is this massive rock spire which towers above the other natural formations in the area, and somehow, against all odds, there appears to be a ship positioned at the very top. That is the first thing which catches your eye. Looking around about across the bay, what you see is that these... Where's my measure tool? These... You can see my arrow here?
Yes.
These cliffs are all very tall, very steep. There is kind of a beach area here, which seems to allow access to this higher ridge. However, it does look like it would be a climb, but there is a small cave, which is about 20 feet below this cliffside town here. There also appears to be, much closer to you due south, a little island area that you could check out. I don't think you could quite make out this cave here, but it's the closest point of land that you could probably get to. And you can definitely see this bay. So I want to give you an idea. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot.
You're good.
This line here is like a cliff that are like hundreds of feet tall. Okay. This town is on like the edge of a cliff, basically.
It's like those cliffs in Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. It's like a little. Yeah. Exactly. Where you were earlier, I will say you were able to make out a beach area over here, which sort of offered a way up as well. But glancing around, it looks like this would be your only way up if you're looking to ascend here. That was a way up earlier, and then you have some land here.
Okay.
So you are wounded, and you know there are weirdly hyper-aggressive sharks in here that are going to stop you from getting back to that trident if you try and do so now.
Yes. A little thrown, pun intended. He's going to make his way to the nearest land, because he's hurt, he needs to recover, and he needs to get out of the water. He sees the cave, and he wants to go for the cave, but survival instincts draw him to the nearest land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where he goes.
Okay. All right. So, as you reach this landmass, Faergus, make me a perception check.
Perception.
Or nature, whichever you prefer.
Ooh. I'll do perception. It's one better.
Okay.
Nat 20. I'll take picture of it.
Oh,
I
let's
got a nat 20,
go. Let's
baby. Oh my
go.
god.
Okay. So,
That's
Faergus,
22. 22.
you notice something a little bit peculiar.
Okay.
You didn't notice it when you were up close, or I'm sorry, when you were sort of north of Norstead before, but now that you're like here and you're looking at this rock up close, you notice that it's particularly rough and scratchy, and it's got this like pale, chalky look to it. And upon observing it closer, you see that it appears to be overgrown coral, which has sort of risen out of the ground now. So this structure, this landmass here, appears to be like a massive, sort of like peeked out of the water and dried out, like coral bed.
Is it a sharp texture or just kind of, you said it's gritty?
It's rough. It is sort of chalky and sun bleached. It's not like painfully sharp, but it's certainly rough and textured.
Okay. Okay. He's just going to... Interesting. He's going to explore this land and try and find a place to recover.
Okay.
Settle in and recover.
So, Faergus, as you sort of explore this area, kind of limping across, you are going to find there appears to be a small cave entrance down here. From here, you're able to get a better look, and you do see there is another landmass down here, which it's pretty much harsh, inaccessible cliffs here. There is like kind of a lower area that would be accessible here. It doesn't really look too pleasant, but it can be reached by water.
Right in this area here?
Come again? Yes, it's this little patch that's kind of right here.
Okay. He will look for sharks. Does he see any sharks?
Not from where you are.
Alright, and he will try and stealth swim to the other shore.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
You got it. I'm good at those. Let's see what happens. Well, 7, but...
7?
Wait. That's a 13 total.
A 13 total. Okay.
Yeah.
So Faergus, I will say you do see sharks, but they don't see you. And now that you're aware and you know there's something up around here, you see more sharks. So you're like hugging close to the reefs, right? You're ducking into the crevices, and you're sort of sliding along the bottom very subtly and carefully. You are going to see other sharks like the ones you saw before that sort of bear a lot of this scarring. But you're able to sneak past them, and you are going to make your way to this other landmass.
Now that I'm like sneaking past them and I see this scarring again, I remember that was one of the first things I noticed about it, but I couldn't really take it in the moment when they were attacking me. Can I get not a closer look, but a better look at what the scarring is on them? What it looks like?
You're playing a dangerous game. Okay, let's see here. So you want to so they haven't noticed you with that 13 stealth, so you want to try and get a little closer to get a better look, or do you just want to try and peep from where you are?
I'm trying to peep from where I am.
I would say you're not close to them right now. You could try and get closer to get a better look, but you're not close enough to like really get a good look of the scars. I would say the only reason you're able to tell is because some of these scars and runes are like active, so they're lit up, if that makes sense.
All right. Can I drift a little closer? Just
Oh,
ever
roll
so
me a
slowly.
stealth check. Let's see.
Oh, oh, please don't. Okay, okay, okay. Um, oh shit. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's not a nat one,
Uh-oh.
but it is a 2, so that's an 8 total.
Curiosity killed the
Oh,
cat.
oh no,
Okay.
killed the fish.
So with the 2, I'll say this, Faergus. You are able to get a closer look.
Well, it's 8 total.
It's an 8 total. Okay. Go
8
ahead.
total.
Go ahead and roll me another perception or arcana check.
Um,
And you said you're just trying to
okay.
creep closer and get a look?
Yeah, just seeing because it looks like weird scarring that I haven't seen on sea creatures before. Okay, that one's better. That's a 17 plus 6.
That is a
Um,
17 plus
23.
6.
Is that
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So I will say that with a 23, you are able to get a much better look. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
I need to clean up some of these edges, but you get the drift.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so something appears to have been done. Something is not right with these sharks. Whatever is driving their behavior seems to be linked to these scars here. Now, that being said, as you are taking a look, you are going to find that this shark is not alone.
Oh no.
Uh,
Clever girl, huh?
make make me a dexterity save as you
Oh, a
attempt to
text.
flee. You are now on the run.
Oh, you bet I am. I hope these guys can't sprout legs. 19,
19,
25, 25 total.
25. Okay, a 25 is pretty fucking good. So Faergus, um, with a 25, which is pretty fucking high, you are not going to get mauled as this second shark comes after you.
Thank
Roll me an
goodness.
insight check as you make your escape and get the fuck out of here.
Insight. Will do. Insight is a 15 plus 2, 17.
A 15 plus 17. Okay, Faergus. Uh, with a 17, you will notice that this other shark over here, who you were sort of scoping out before this one detected you, has now turned around and is also pursuing you. However, with a 25, even with your wound, you are able to make it to the shore here. But
I scramble up on land as fast as I can, as far as I can.
these sharks are each going to dash onto like the rocks here, and you watch, Faergus, as this sharp coral cuts into them and the water splashes and turns red as these sharks are each sort of gnashing to try and reach you, and you scramble to safety up the ledge here. Their mouths are snapping wildly about, and the water is turning red as the sharp coral cuts into their skin. The sharks seem to pay no heed to this as they gnash about wildly, but unable to reach you, they eventually sort of like back up and make their way out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Is there do I see any shelter nearby where I can take a night to recuperate?
There does appear to be a cave entrance over here. Other than that, this is just sort of an open area here.
Okay. I'm going to kind of walk down this area a little bit. Just, not that tool, this tool. Yarp. Just kind of scoping out just what's here. What's the lay of the land around this area before I inspect the cave?
You're the right size. I think you're a bit big, actually. You are a bit big. Okay.
Yeah. Just checking out the area and keeping my eye on the water. Making sure there's not going to be any sharks jumping out of the water trying to get me.
Yeah, Faergus, you are not playing any fucking games. You get a good look around. There's really not a whole lot on this little cliffside.
Okay.
But your sharp eyes do spot what appears to be a cave over here, which is sort of inaccessible by water. So it's there's like little rocks here that kind of block the way in, but there is a cave.
He ventures in.
He ventures within. So as you do so, you are going to note to yourself that the entrance to this cave, while it does appear to be a cave, is flooded with water. This is not a problem for you. You can easily just swim through it.
Yes.
But the entrance must be swam through. So, you are going to find yourself...
Ooh.
Whoa! Hang tight for a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Faergus.
Yes.
You swim through the other side of the cave, and it does appear to be generally uninhabited.
Alright, he's going to find a corner where he can put his back to a wall.
Yeah.
Ooh, like right over here. Oh shoot, I had the wrong tool.
No
right
problem.
over. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
And keep an eye out in front of him, and he's just going to. What is he gonna do? He's gonna recuperate. Let his leg heal. What does he have?
Your leg throbs painfully.
Oof.
It does not heal from resting
It does not
alone. You'll get your HP back, but your leg does not heal for the sake of flavor.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, it's not really healing very well.
Yeah, it has...
Do I see... Ooh.
Go on.
Do I see in my vicinity any, driftwood in this cave?
In this cave. Roll me an investigation check.
You got it. I'm gonna use this one. Investigation. Not super great. I really leaned away from the smart skills.
That's
13.
Okay. 13. You're able to find some wood, yes. It's sort of rough, thin sticks. Nothing like a solid plank or anything like that.
How many sticks do I find?
Well, not a whole lot, considering that you have to swim through the entrance just to get in this cave.
Okay.
So anything that's in here would have had to have, like, gone through an underwater dip. So it's kind of a miracle, now that I think about it, that you even find any sticks in this cave at all.
Okay, we can say I find a stick, and then when I touch it, it, like, breaks. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not going to be of any use.
That's alright.
Okay.
You find some driftwood, but it's nothing crazy, but you do find a few sticks, sure.
Okay. I'm essentially looking for... If I need to leave this cave again, I will. But I'm essentially looking for sticks and seaweed, if I can find some seaweed.
Sticks and seaweed.
To be able to work with.
Roll... Nah, you already know this.
I can leave the cave as well to look
You
for
could
things.
find seaweed if you left the cave. You are not going to find seaweed here because seaweed just wouldn't grow in this cave.
Then I will leave the cave for now.
Okay.
Looking around and realizing, okay, I found a good place to settle in, but I need to try and help my leg.
Okay.
He's probably feeling pretty just really alone at the moment because he's never been alone like this before. Never ever. Okay.
Yes, you are quite alone, betrayed by your criminal organization.
Yeah.
And your leg is fucking killing you.
Killing me.
It is hot and painful and pulsing.
All right, he's going to look for seaweed and sturdy sticks if he can find them.
Let me think about this.
What else?
Roll me survival.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, roll me survival or investigation. Your choice.
I will roll a survival check. It's a little bit better. Ooh, a 6.
Ooh, Faergus. You do find seaweed, but you
Okay.
also find sharks. And
Shit.
you can't get close to the seaweed in your current state, but you see it there. And if you need to, you can find it again.
He will. The sharks don't see me, right? They're just near the seaweed.
They're just near the seaweed, yeah.
All right. He will take a few steps back, sit down, and just sit very still and watch that spot and wait for the sharks to leave so he can get the seaweed.
Okay. Okay.
There's not a lot
All
you can
right.
do here.
So, Faergus, you wait long enough. All right, you wait long enough and you get your seaweed. So, eventually the sharks leave. And you're able to dart in and dart out with a decent amount of seaweed.
Okay. But I did not find any wood.
How much seaweed are you looking for? Yeah, if you want to find wood.
I am trying to create not a tourniquet, a splint of sorts. So like some wood that'll go down my leg to keep it straight because it's really injured right now. And then he knows how to dry seaweed and make it tough enough to act as a rope. So he was going to, with his weaver's tools, he knows how to do that. So I was gonna use the seaweed as like the bandaging to tie the sticks together to keep his leg secured. That is his goal.
I like that. Okay, so you've left the cave. Go ahead and try another survival or investigation check.
Sure. We'll go survival again. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna use a different dice. This one's not doing so good. I'm gonna use the copper ones. Yeah, special copper ones.
Sweat.
15.
15.
17 total.
Okay, Faergus. So here's what you can do. You do find sticks. They're not perfect sticks. What are your toolkits? What do you have on you?
Right. I forgot. Should be trying to talk like this.
Faergus.
Okay, I got it. Calligrapher's supplies, a forgery kit, leatherworker's tools, thieves' tools, tinkerer's tools, and weaver's tools.
Okay. Okay.
So I imagine between the tinkerer's tools and the weaver's tools, I was able to put together some sort of splint.
Yes, I would say with the weaver's tools. Did you already roll a second time to find sticks out here?
I did. It was a 17.
A 17. Okay. You find sticks. They're not perfect sticks. It's actually very crude. A little unsatisfactory, Faergus, but it's better than nothing. Go ahead and roll me Weaver's Tools to see what we can scrounge together.
Ooh, this is the first tinkering. Okay, so
this will be Dex plus proficiency.
Dex plus proficiency. Okay, thank you.
It's like a skill that you're proficient in.
Okay. Dex is +4, so it's +6 to the roll. A 9, so that is 15 total.
A 15. Okay, so Faergus, what you're able to throw together isn't great. Your leg, while splinted, is still loose in the dislocated joint. And so it is becoming quite inflamed, quite painful. And even though the splint keeps your leg straight, the fact that your leg is still sort of freely moving in the socket is incredibly painful. So I'll say this. You are able to make yourself a splint. You will need to get this leg treated. It is going to seriously hurt you, and you are not going to be sprinting or swimming anywhere at your fastest until this is treated properly.
Okay. Then let's say, so the first day he arrives on this beach, he looks for the materials for a splint, finds them, and he settles down in that cave. But as the night goes on and his leg swells, he realizes he's gonna need help the next morning. Like he can't wait. Can we do that sort of fast travel sort of stuff? Time skip?
Ooh, yeah, to like the next morning, sure. So are you gonna try to enter the town the next morning?
Yes, the next one. So he will have spent the night. Well, no, because it would take more than a day to be able to do that. He's gonna start to dry a bunch of the seaweed that he collected. And yes, the next morning he's going to leave the cave and go into the city for help.
Okay. So, Faergus, the best way to get up that you are able to discern is going to be to sort of coast your way around the edges. There is a cave here. There does seem to be a way up. It would require climbing, and it would be very difficult with your wounded leg, but you can try if you like.
Yeah, I think he's got to try.
Okay. I will point out there is also another method that you had seen before, where there was a beach on the northern side that sort of made its way up. However, if you want to try and make this climb, you can.
That would have been an easier walk. Is that what you're saying?
So here's the choice. It's further around. It's sort of a matter of like, would Faergus make the risk of potentially dealing with sharks in order to make his way over here, or would he try and make a climb? That's kind of the question being posed.
He's gonna make a climb. That's what
he's gonna do. Okay, Faergus.
Oh, gosh, every time I think I've made the wrong decision.
Faergus. Okay. Make me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As your leg is inflamed and dislocated and exceedingly painful.
Oh my god. I got a 16 and a 17.
Okay.
So that is going to be a total of, oh my god, a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Advantage. Holy shit.
All right, Faergus. That's actually pretty good. With that, we'll say you make it up to this distant cave area, which really is the majority of the climb. It is a very long climb just to get here.
It hurts so bad.
It does not feel good. However, you're not far from the top. You are only a 20-foot climb from the top of this.
He takes a good 10 minutes just breathing right there because it hurts so bad. Okay, he's gonna finish the next 20 feet.
All right, go ahead and roll me athletics at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. All right. Let's see. Can you hear the clicky clacky?
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, another nat 20.
Oh.
Okay, so that is going to be a 14 this time.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
Faergus. The pain is blinding. But at long last, you are able to pick yourself up. And let me do a little something here, something here. 1 second. All right.
The last 20 feet probably took him like 20 minutes. Just slowly getting up there.
Faergus, you are... Let me zoom way in here. You are at the top of the climb, panting quite heavily. Your leg is splinted. You are exhausted. Where's my token? Here we go. And you're just sort of gathering yourself here. When you look over and see an old man staring at you wide-eyed.
Oh my god. Faergus sees him.
By my briny beard! What in the bloody three is that? Sweet mother of barnacles! Ain't seen nothing like this since the storm. It's the god-cursed sea devils. They've wandered ashore. We're doomed, mark my words.
Is this how? You great. Everyone that comes into town.
This old man stares at you, dumbfounded at your speech. And he says, "By the rotten keel of a shipwrecked schooner, what manner of devilry have me eyes fallen upon? A pox on this cursed shore. There have been naught but bad omens, and the bloody monsters walk among us." And terrified, this old man is going to flee. 1 second. He is going to sprint out of here.
As he
horrified.
sprints away, Faergus just goes, "But could you tell me where the and kind of like waves his hand, like, forget it. Alright,
Yeah,
I guess I'll have to find
old
someone else to help me.
Runs off shrieking to an undisclosed location.
Okay. Do I see anything behind these, like... Are these houses here? Oh,
Yes, these are houses.
guys. Uh-oh. Technical difficulty. There we go. Okay, they're houses. Do I see pitchfork, shovel, stick, any sort of anything leaned up against any of these houses?
Just on the side of the house?
Yeah.
Roll me investigation check. Let's see.
A broom. I don't care.
Just
Investigation.
Some sort of straight pole is what you're looking for?
A 12.
A 12. Yeah, I would say you'd able to find, like, a shovel or a broom or something similar.
I find a shovel and I just grab it and I just use it as to help me walk, as almost like a cane, like a staff.
Okay.
Because I need something. It hurts.
Okay.
I'm going to venture in and look for a doctor to treat me.
All right, Faergus. So here's what you see looking around this town. Although there are patches of grass, this landscape here is again kind of the same corally material that the other landmass you were on earlier was. These are little wooden shacks. Did I move you back? I did. Okay, great. These are just little tiny wooden shacks. They are not impressive and quite run down. How are you going about looking for a doctor?
He's just trying to find any local to ask them for a physician.
Okay. Okay. Any local.
So he's
There's
wandering
nobody
blindly into town.
walking. There's no one really walking around the town openly.
Okay. He looks around. Does he see any place that looks a little bit more lit up? Perhaps a place that is a gathering place for people.
A gathering place for people. Roll me a perception check from where you are.
Perception. All right. As he looks around, he says, "Oh, I sure wish Maeve was here. She's always able to spot the good places." 13 total.
13 total. Okay, so looking around you here, all of these shacks look kind of the same. They're really not terribly different from one another. They're all very run down by the ocean mist and the salt and the sun. You do note that these three houses here do appear to be family homes. In fact, all of the houses that you can see appear to be little home-like shacks.
All right. He will. Oh, my mouse is giving me a little bit of trouble. He is gonna approach. Oh, come on, mouse. This home, and he will knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and a young woman is going to answer it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Why am I having technical difficulties? There we go. There she is. Okay. Come on, roll 20. To front. Okay. Alright. A young woman is going to answer the door, and Faergus, as soon as she lays eyes on you, the blood is going to drain from her face, and she is going to shriek in horror and slam the door shut as quickly as possible. And you hear the clicking of locks behind the door.
I'm beginning to think this is just how this town greets newcomers. All right. You will limp over to this house.
Faergus, these Drykin are responding very suspiciously to your presence. You knock on this door over here, and there is no response.
He kind of starts to mumble a little resentfully. Of course, these mudfoots would act this way. You see someone that's hard, doesn't look like you. It's just alright. Just like it's mumbling angrily. What to do? What to do? He needs medical attention. He is going to. He doesn't know what else to do. He's just going to try the next house. Okay. Yeah.
Faergus, as you're about here-ish, roll me a perception check.
All right, perception. Ooh. 19.
Okay.
Perception. 20, 21. 21 total.
Faergus, having knocked on this door as you're moving to this other house up here, you notice in a window over here a curtain be drawn shut as you're kind of walking over to this house.
He sees that. He's gonna pause and really frustrated, he just goes up to this window and he kind of taps on it and he says, "Oi, I see you in there. I just need a doctor. Anybody have a doctor in this town? That's all I need. My leg's been bummed up. Hello? Anyone in there? I know I saw you in there."
Roll me a persuasion check, Faergus.
Oh, Lordy. 11.
11. Faergus, there's no response. It's dead silent. No one comes near the window. There's like a heavy, thick, very tense pause. And you know that there's someone on the other side of this window. On the other side of this blind. But you can't see them.
Sailfish. Sailfish Mudfoot. Why we left. Okay. Jeez, he is really frustrated. He's not getting anywhere. He's going to walk away and just keep meandering into town. He's looking for a group of people. He's looking for a bustling inn. He's looking for a blacksmith. He's looking for...
When you get here and you come around the corner of this house, you are able to make out very clearly stables and an inn.
Perfect. He's gonna make his way. Yeah, he makes his way over there.
So, Faergus, as you make your way here, a small sign on the door says Chastain's Tavern.
Alright.
Alright.
He will walk inside.
Okay. Faergus, you walk into the tavern. Within the tavern, you are going to find a petrified old man. Let me see if I can find him.
Is it the same old man?
It's the same old man.
Okay.
Let me see. Where's his art? Oh, here we go. Copy. Okay. And let's throw him down here. Yes, you are going to find the same old man who, as soon as you walk in, is going to sort of fall backwards, nearly, falling, knocking his chair over as he does so. There are a couple other patrons in the bar, and there is a bartender as well, and all of them are going to start very suddenly, sort of being shocked at you having stepped through the door. Let me show you.
He sighs in exasperation at this reaction. Hobbles up to the barkeep and says, "Look, I need a doctor. Do you have anyone in town that can heal? You understand what I'm saying?"
So, okay. Okay, one second. Alright, so as you say this, the bartender is going to be sort of dumbfounded, just that you're even speaking, right? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Where is... Oh, they're already there. Perfect. Okay. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Alright, so yes, the bartender, who is like an older man, not older, like middle-aged, right? 40s, 45, 50-ish. he is going to be kind of shocked as you ask for help. You're asking for a doctor, and he's going to say, "Doctor, there's no doctor here." And
Well, what do you people do when you get sick?
Sorry, there's old man Marcus. So these
Oh man, Marcus.
these people, right, are sort of like knocking over chairs, and they're doing everything they can to sort of physically stand as like far away from you as they can, sort of crowding near the corner. Faergus, as you... Oh shit, they're all in the GM layer. One sec. There you go. Can you see these people?
I can.
Okay.
Where's Faergus? Oh yeah, he went up to the barkeep. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, Faergus. So the bartender says there's no doctor. You say, okay, what do you do when you're sick? And Edmund, the bartender, is sort of speaking over his long red beard, says, we just stay inside. Quarantine. We don't get sick around here. Eat some food.
You know, well, I don't think food is going to fix this. And he points at his leg, which is this nasty shade of purple and like twice the size it should be.
Edmund gulps, right? And you can see he's quite pale and quite white. Roll me an insight check. Insight or perception.
Insight or they're the same, so I'll make it insight. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're going to hear, Faergus, is Jocelyn and Percival, these two men who are over here, sort of muttering to one another, and you're going to hear one of them say, like, the stories are true. And another one is going to say, I always thought he was crazy. And then old man Marcus says, I'm not crazy. You're looking at it, boys. And so I'm sorry, Faergus, what did you tell Edmund?
No, I just said, like, what do you do if you're sick? And I said, I don't think food is going to fix this. And he pointed at his swollen purple leg. But he overheard them say something about the stories.
You overheard them sort of saying this, but Edmund, who's in front of you and looking at you, like, in the face, is going to shake his head. He's very visibly nervous. And he says, I'm sorry. I don't have... Do you want food?
Above the table question, does Faergus have any money on him? Or with him?
Oh, yeah, I can see you have a little gold on you.
Okay.
You have enough.
Okay.
You have enough for flavor orders.
Dope. Actually, that sounds quite good. I haven't had any food and, I can't remember.
As you're talking to Edmund, a woman steps in carrying a plate, like a tray of food. And then seeing you there, Faergus, she is going to drop the tray and sort of, like, just startle, right? And there's, like, a thick silence as everyone's just sort of watching you to see what you're going to do.
Food would be great. What kind do you have? I don't think I've ever had drykin food before. Oh wait, he would have. I haven't had drykin food in quite some time.
Drykin, we have meat, venison, bread, butter, ale if you're thirsty.
Right. Well. I'll start with some bread and butter. I don't like the sound of meat.
There's
I'll
a
take an ale too.
there's a pause that goes on too long, right? Where they're just like processing that you just made an order. And then
He's going as they process, he just kind of stares at them, waiting. So then he pulls out the money necessary and puts it on the table and hopes it prompts them into motion.
Fergus, didn't you say something about the way that you blink?
Yes, I blink not vertically, I blink horizontally.
So you put this money on the table, and Edmund sort of looks down at it in disbelief. And he sort of looks back up at you. And Faergus, you blink your eyes like closing sideways. And Yvonne is going to sort of touch his shoulder and say, take the order, dear. And Edmund, kind of gathering himself, says, yes, yes. And he's... so I'm sorry, what did you just order from them?
I ordered bread, butter, and ale because he doesn't like meat. I just decided
butter,
he's
and ale.
pescatarian.
Okay. So Edmund says, yes, of course. And Yvonne, sort of not taking her eyes off you, is going to sort of retreat into the back. And Edmund is going to retreat into the back as well.
Since they go to
They're
the back
both
to do
out
my
of sight for a second.
they go back to do my order, I kind of turn around on the stool and look at these people. And I say, did I hear you say something about a story?
At this, old man Marcus says, No! No, you blasted devil! We'll not be parting words with you. I'll have nothing to do with this. And old man Marcus flees, and he sprints out the door here, this way. And Jocelyn and Percival, who don't react quite as quickly, you see in their faces that both of them feel trapped. They're like, oh god, it's just us with this thing in this room.
If he sees this, he'll kind of, what does he do? He'll kind of raise his hands a little and say, I mean no harm. I love a good story if you've got one.
Make me a perception check.
Sure. I'm using my
This is an
splatter
incredibly surreal moment for these people.
dice. Okay, then I'm just acting all casual.
Yeah.
Okay, you said perception, right? Oh, that is a 5. 5.
A 5.
Yep.
Okay, Faergus. With a 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that was persuasion?
Oh, I thought, was it perception or persuasion?
I might have said perception. I meant persuasion.
Oh, it's a persuasion roll?
Mm-hmm.
No problem. That's a 3.
Oh, Faergus. Okay. These people are way too afraid.
Mm-hmm.
They are way too disarmed. And as you say this, and sort of, they're going to sort of come to their senses. And they're going to sort of slide along this table, knocking over the chairs, not taking their eyes off you. They're going to sort of slide along the table, pushing the chairs over, push their bodies like against the wall as they sort of slide their way out of this bar. And then as soon as they're out the door, they're going to take off running out of sight.
Faergus just stares at them, blinking sideways as they make their way out of the bar. Right, well, I guess I'm not going to be hearing any stories anytime soon from these people. Has the bar cleared out now?
The bar has cleared out.
Okay.
until Edmund comes back around the corner.
Okay.
Though he really hasn't introduced himself yet. But he's going to come back around the corner with some bread and some butter and some ale like on a tray. And as he comes through the door, he sees you, kind of still in your seat. Unless you're still standing, I don't know.
No, I'm still sitting.
He comes out, looks around the room, and sees it's empty except for you. And you can see his anxiety has drastically increased. And he's going to step forward and just sort of put the food down and slide it across the table. And then he's going to like sort of take a step back and he's just watching you very carefully.
Right. What an interesting establishment. What an interesting way to treat a paying guest, but I suppose when I'm in different lands, there's a different treatment. And he takes the butter, puts it on his bread, and he just eats it, sips his ale just as normally as he can.
You hear a door in the back open and close.
Do you have any paper, sir? Oh, I didn't catch your name. What was it?
My name, it's Edmund.
Edmund. Oh, great. Do you have any paper, Edmund, that I could use?
I do. You see him kind of eyeing the harpoon on your back and the knife at your side, and he sort of, kind of steps in the back and retrieves some basic stationary supplies. And the air is thick with tension. It's completely silent in here.
Oh.
And it's just you and Edmund. And Edmund is starting to sweat a little. He slides the stationery across the table.
Okay. Faergus, as he finishes his bread and butter, he continues to sip on his ale a bit. He will write a note on this piece of paper in a language that Edmund does not recognize. And it says, "Meet me at the blank cave." I don't know if it was eastern, western, or like there's an indicator to tell her what. Okay, the western cave near this landmarker. Like I tell her where to meet me.
Okay.
And I sign it. It says Maeve at the top, and then I write that, and then I sign it. And this is a language that only she and I know.
Okay. Edmund watches you, kind of fascinated as you do this.
I'm sure you have a bulletin board up here somewhere, Edmund, don't you?
A bulletin board?
Some sort of post board.
We don't usually have much need for such things, but anybody who's going to come through is going to come here. If you need, I can ensure that it goes to whoever it's intended for. He gulps.
Can I see if he's telling the truth?
Roll me an insight.
Oh, God. Don't fuck with me, man. Oh, 5.
5. Here's what you can tell.
Yes, 5.
He is deeply afraid of you.
Oh.
He is deeply afraid of you. He looks like he's going to be sick, just looking at you. Not repulsed, but roll me an insight check.
Alrighty. 16.
16.
That's better.
So let me put this out there. When you've encountered people who didn't recognize your species before, albeit not very often, right? Because you've had interactions with humans in the criminal organization where these humans were startled to see you, but there was sort of a mix of intrigue and curiosity when their peers were like, no, it's okay, you you can interact with them, and you know, they understand us, you know, that kind of thing. This is not like that. These humans seem to be distinctly afraid of you. This is a heightened adrenaline response. They seem to be terrified of your appearance. And Edmund, gulping, has offered to ensure that whoever your letter is intended for receives it. There are no bulletin boards because this town isn't big enough for a bulletin board. They just come to the inn to drink.
I suppose that would be quite helpful. I appreciate it. Alright, well, this person I'm trying to find, she's about yay tall. Quite a small thing, actually. And he describes her hair color, how tall she is, what she might be wearing. Just gives Edmund as much description as he can about Maeve.
Mm-hmm.
And the sooner the better, honestly. You haven't seen any person like this, have you? Have you?
He shakes his head nervously and he says, No, I haven't. But
very well. All right.
But I'll make sure if anyone does come by, they'll get this letter.
I appreciate that, Edmund. And I'll tell you what. And he kind of stands up using the shovel again as his crutch. Next time you see someone coming in here, and he leans over the counter and he gets closer, kind of like pressing his boundaries. And they look a little different from you. Perhaps you ought to treat them a little kinder, because they won't be as nice as me. And he leaves one extra, like, piece of money, gold, I guess, if that's what they use, on the table, and then limps out of the bar.
Okay. Faergus, as you come limping out of the bar, you are going to find a small group of townspeople, and they appear to be armed, though not immediately hostile. They are watching you sort of with shock as you come limping out of the bar. But Faergus, you immediately take note of like old cheap bows and arrows and, like, you know, pitchforks or fishing hatchets. And they're not like sitting here waving it like, we're gonna kill you, you know, but they're like sort of gathered around in case you were to like attack anything, right? This is just like a little small militia, and they're afraid, and they're just watching you, this creature, as it comes limping out of the bar.
Seeing that I have a bit of an audience now, he will not, and understanding their fear is becoming dangerous, he won't approach or get any closer, but he will shout out, "Is there any among you who's a healer?" Still looking for anyone.
Roll me an insight check as you say this.
Sure. Insight, yes. Oh man, well, that's a 4.
Okay, I'll say this much. Looking at their faces, Faergus, these people are dumbfounded just to hear you speak common. As you speak, several of them, their mouths drop open, and one of them, who does have a bow, is going to speak up and say, "A healer! No! No, nothing like that. And then another one is going to say, why are you here? Why have you come here?
It's my business why I've come here, but not to worry, I mean you no harm. And he just starts to slowly limp away. Don't worry, I won't burden this town with my face anymore.
Roll me persuasion at advantage because you are wounded
right.
and you're moving away from them.
Persuasion at advantage. Oh, all right. 13.
13. Okay, Faergus. You've made a statement and you've started kind of moving away from them, sort of showing, making a show of your intent for nonviolence, right? And
right.
You've generally been polite. You've said you mean them no harm. None of them are pointing their weapons at you, and many of them are just sort of stunned. And they just sort of can't believe what they're witnessing as you're making your way. So as you're making your way away, are you just going to sort of make your way back to the cave?
Let's see. I don't know what else I can do at the moment.
You're kind of surrounded by a bunch of these, like, shacks, but you don't really know what they are.
Which shacks? Can you point them out to me?
Just like all these little buildings around you, right? They're just like little rundown, shabby structures. So I'm just saying, like, you're in a town of unfamiliar buildings.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Kind of getting the vibe of the town and that it's not very welcoming towards me. I want to investigate these shacks, but in my condition, I am not up for a fight. So he will continue to walk away, but I will say, as he walks, oh shit. Oh no, that'll work. He is going to look for, again, brooms, shovels, and a mop that's hanging up outside, and anything with like a wood handle.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. This little crowd is following you.
Oh.
And they are watching you very carefully. So if you like, you can try and steal something. You do make note that let me see. There we go. So this is kind of an accurate depiction of what's happening here. So you do make note that there are shovels and brooms around.
Mm-hmm.
But you now have like an audience of people who are now actively following you as you move through the town. This situation does feel dangerous to you. This is not a comfortable situation by any means. Again, they're not pointing their weapons at you. You've been very polite so far.
Great.
But you are a strange creature that is wandering through their town, even though you are one that seems to speak common. So you do find those items you're looking for.
I do find them, but it's a decision on whether I take them or not.
But you are being watched, yeah.
Okay, actually, I don't want to get into a fight. Especially since I have that wall to go down.
You definitely get the sense that this group here is here to make sure that you don't harm anybody. But this is probably it. This is probably their militia here, because this is not a big place, and there's some old folks tossed in this mix.
Damn. Okay,
But
he will.
There's a mob following you.
Yeah. He can't. If they're following him and watching him, he definitely knows he can't just nick something right in front of their faces. And with his injury, he doesn't. He's normally pretty quick and can like dart around corners and lose people.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, he's not feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, they are definitely keeping their distance from you. But you are certainly being watched and followed.
Okay. I'm gonna come down this way, turn this corner. Come around this way. And then how far down, before they get in too close, how far down is this to the beach, to the sand?
So let me see. I want to say this is about 20 feet, and this is about 80 feet.
Oh, shit.
So, like, this part is no problem, right? This is like a 20-foot, but this one down here is a pretty big climb.
Okay, but when he's out of eye line, he's gonna nick a broom and just throw both the shovel and the broom into the sand down here.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Nick him and toss him really quick.
Just chuck him. Chuck him over the edge.
Exactly. Just get rid of the
my
evidence.
God.
He needs to help his leg. It's all he can do. Okay, that's not bad. That is a 19.
A 19. That is quite good. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
You're able to nick a shovel and a broom.
Great.
And
Great.
it goes sailing over the edge.
Hey, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
Okay. So they each fall about 100 feet down to the beach.
And then he will just he will let them see him and get caught up. And just very slowly make his way down this area. Slowly climb down. Don't bother helping me at all. No, don't even think about that. Why would you help a person that's hurt? You fucking drunken.
Okay.
And when they are not looking, he will return to gather the shovel and the broom.
Okay. So for now, Faergus, you are going to make your way to the water. So are you going to... Let me see. Once you make your way to the water, how do you proceed from here? You're essentially moving back to the cave, right?
I will be, yeah.
So you got a few options here.
Okay.
You could try and stealth it through the water here and remain in the shallows, but you might not be very successful at that. Or you can cut through and take a gamble, but you will for sure lose. They will lose track of you if you do so.
Can I walk? Let's see. I'm gonna change my tool here. Can I walk along this? Oh, wait, but then they'll just follow me. That's what's... Okay. Okay.
So what I'm saying is you can hug the shallows here, but you'll have to make a few stealth checks to not be seen, because now they're looking for you. However...
The sharks or the people?
The people. The people are watching out for you to see where this thing that just walked into their village went. Or you can cut straight through the water. They will for sure lose track of you, but you'll have to roll stealth to avoid sharks. What would Faergus do?
What would Faergus do? He doesn't want the people to see where he's hiding, because again, he heard something about stories and them being true, and like he knows stories are dangerous, and it's like, okay, I don't want these. Okay, I want to see. He's gonna stick to the shallows.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna stick to the shallows.
All right, Faergus. So at this point, it is getting later in the day. Your leg is killing you. You have just made a climb. Go ahead and roll me athletics at disadvantage.
Ooh,
Twice,
yeah,
please.
I mean, it is.
Twice, please.
Do it twice? Oh, boy.
Uh-huh. You have a
Okay, the
20-foot
first
descent
one.
and an 80-foot descent.
Dude, I got another nat 20 that is wasted on this
Ugh.
disadvantage. That's 3. Okay, so the first one is a 6 total athletics check, and the second one, oh, at disadvantage, is a holy shit, that's actually pretty good. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, here's
Yeah,
what
so
happens,
first one
Faergus.
6, second one dirty 20.
As you're climbing your way down, you are going to slip and fall during the 20 foot. You're going to take a d6 of damage, and as you land, a shooting pain is going to fly up your thigh. You cannot help but cry out from this.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
This is observed by everyone on the cliffs here, who are all sort of watching you very carefully. And then on the you can RP this if you like, but I assume you sort of in a dignified manner gather yourself and proceed with the long climb.
Yeah.
Okay. With the dirty 20, you do quite well. You make your way down, and noting where the shovel and broom landed, you decide to, instead of cutting across, carefully make your way through the shallows here. Can you roll me?
People,
Uh-huh.
do they know there's a cave right here?
They do know there's a cave right there.
Okay, got it. Roll you what?
Can you roll 2 stealth checks at disadvantage?
Oh dear.
Since they are actively looking for you.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so the first one is an 8. The second one, oh, still not good. It's a 12.
Okay, Faergus. An 8 is not good.
Mm-hmm.
This group is going to follow you. And they're basically just going to keep track of where you go. And
Do I notice that they're following me? And that they're keeping track?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh dear. Perception. 10.
10. Faergus, as you're moving carefully through the water, you sort of cut a look upwards up at the cliffs, and you see the shadows, the silhouettes of figures sort of peering over the edge at you as these drykin watch you make your way over.
Seeing that I have not been able to lose them yet, he will make the hard decision to go into the deep. Not the deep, sorry. To risk the sharks.
You're gonna risk the sharks?
To the cave. Risk the sharks to get to the cave, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but you said I take a d6 of damage, first of all, right?
Yeah, you'll take a d6
Are
of
you
damage.
Are you gonna roll that? Do you want me to roll that?
You could roll it.
Okay. Oh, so much fun. Please be low. A 1!
Nice. Okay. Doesn't feel good, but only 1 damage. Okay, so here's the thing. You had rolled a 12 earlier. So what's 12 plus your stealth bonus? Or was that just the whole roll?
That was the whole roll.
Yeah,
that was the total.
Okay, let's roll a d20. Oh! Okay, Faergus. You are going to make your way back, and as you attempt to cut across, your leg is burning when a massive shark is going to appear. And
God.
this is like the big one that you had encountered before. And Faergus, swimming over the water, what what you notice is sort of like voices on the cliffside, and you sort of look up at them, and you see them pointing down kind of at you, and you look behind you, and you see this massive fin cutting through the water, and sort of ducking your head beneath the waves. You look underneath, and you see this thing soaring at you. So you are going to presumably book it. Yeah, what would Faergus do if you were wounded, making your way, kind of creeping along, you make the hard choice, and then turn around and you see a massive shark?
He's gonna book it to shore because he knows that even though it will try to get him on shore, it is less likely that it will be able to. And he has the advantage on shore. So
Okay.
he will try and book it to the shore.
Faergus, it feels terrible. Make me a constitution save as you push your
Got it.
wounded limbs to work, your muscles grinding.
Con save. Oh, ooh, okay, dirty 20.
Dirty 20? That's pretty good. Okay,
Yeah,
Faergus, so here's
yeah.
what happens. You are able to successfully swim away, but you are pushing hard, and it is not comfortable. And as you make your way to this cave, with your limbs, you're able to quickly direct yourself and jump into safety. But again, this massive shark is going to grind its body over the sharp stone coral edges, which turn the water red as it just cuts itself, attempting to gnash at you. And in the distance, Faergus, you can see all of these people sort of pointing, but you can't quite make out what they're saying anymore. And this shark gnashing at you is going to eventually writhe and wriggle backwards before turning away and vanishing from view. And there's just this eerie moment of silence as the red tinted water just sort of laps against the stones.
He's breathing very heavily, and when he looks down at his leg, he sees that it is far worse than it was just at the end because of what he's just kind of gone through. Do the people still see him, or is he in the cave now? Did they see where? They saw him go in there.
Oh, they definitely saw, and they also saw this shark here, who was like thrashing about and sort of making a scene as to where it chased you. So if you were to look now, Faergus, you would see that they are on the cliffs, and they're all sort of just standing and talking to each other. They're sort of waving their arms about excitedly.
He will stay in this cave with his leg submerged in the water because it's cooler and it just feels good on his leg. And he's gonna spend another night here. At least he got a little bit of food.
Whoop. Music's a little hardcore. Okay. Alright, Faergus. You are able to spend another night here. And we can pick this back up with Session 1 of Norstead Point, cool, when Balog and Maeve arrive in town.
Oh, man. So he has left a note with the barkeep. Yes. They know where he is, which actually might be good for Maeve, because they might be able to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
There's something up with the sharks in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You were propelled away from the Trident with such force that it dislocated your leg and flung you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet out of the water, as well as creating like a small tsunami that fortunately the town was protected against due to the cliffs.
Mm-hmm. Good, great session, dude. And What a good opening. I didn't realize that I would be writing a script for the opening of this
Ooh,
session.
it was
That was
fun. You
awesome.
did a great job. This is a great, great first
Yeah.
session. I'll go ahead and stop the recording here.